you're getting a sensory input. The easy way to say that is the feeling of where is my head and where is it moving, particularly, is so different on the right than it is on the left. It is jacked up. It is hyper, and the brain on the other side, the brain stem, is getting normal activity, and the brain stem itself, and then the brain is saying, "Whoa, this makes no sense." We call that a sensory mismatch. When we have that sensory mismatch, we wind up with a sensation that the brain puts out called vertigo. And so because of that, because it's running so high on the right and so low on the left, the brainstem over time is going to dial those nuclei down to make it more appropriate for reality, which means it changes. And so there are many people who are walking around with the problem but don't even know it. And so part of their brainstem is working too hard and others working too soft. Well, those nuclei are wired to your eye muscles and also the stabilizers of your back, your spine, that give you rigidity against gravity. So imagine we just changed that. We just dialed the one on the right down, so it's going to be mushy on that side, and it's going to be normal on the left. So that's a real big issue. And then you come into somebody like me, and I get rid of those calcium carbonate crystals, and so now it's not jacked up in the sensory input, but the nuclei are still running low, right? And why? To compensate for the overabundance, the harsh input from that side, that labyrinth that has the semicircular canals that's sending inputs into the brainstem. Well, now it's getting normal like the other side, and the right side is going, what? I can't hear you. What? Well, I can't hear you. And so then it can create another sensory mismatch, right? But it will usually be in reverse of the BPPV sensation. And so then we have to dial, my job after that is to dial up the nuclei, the vestibular nuclei on the right, so that it's the same as on the left. So the longer you wait, the more changes you make, the more it also affects the structure of your body. I just keep getting injured in the same place over and over and over again. And you don't relate it to, well, it could be related to my dizziness problem, but my dizziness problem is small and only happens when I go to bed and lay back. And so, yeah, that's the kind of problem that this can be, especially in the long run. And then you've got secondary, tertiary, and quaternary changes in the brain and brain stem and spinal cord as a result of the changes that were facilitated to deal with the problem.
So women and men with vertigo need to come in and get their brain balanced.
Yes, and we need to find out exactly what the problem is and deal with the problem, rather than letting it, well, it's manageable. Or let's say they do it to the point where, okay, it's not as bad. So no, that's the foundational system. It's the first system that's ready to grow when you're born. Mom puts you on her chest, and this is the first time gravity is going through your head from top to bottom. And then you start to develop the tone of the muscles that give you rigidity against gravity. Then she puts you on her hip, and now instead of wiggling in your head, you've got some tone in your neck. Now your whole body's wiggling, but you're learning from that vestibular system, and it's laying down the basic highways and the fuel supply systems to support that new need against gravity. And so when you let it go, that's what I see all the time. Man, I'm going to 5 different doctors. Well, why? Because the when the vestibular system goes down, it drags the autonomic nervous system with it, because it's the thing that supplies the fuel and that. And so then all of a sudden I'm getting sick all the time, and I'm life has just really gone into the crapper. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.